didn't we just have an election? We have a law in Ontario that dictates when general elections are supposed to be held. It says there should be 4 years between votes. But you've probably heard that we're likely heading to the polls early, less than 3 years after the last election. So what's going on? Let's start with some history. Since Confederation in 1867, Ontario premiers basically controlled the timing of elections. They called one whenever they wanted. That was until 2003, when Liberal leader Dalton McGuinty campaigned on fixed election dates. He believed previous Tory governments had used election timing to their own partisan advantage. McGuinty won and amended Ontario's Election Act to say general elections must be held on the first Thursday of October in every 4th year. That rule lasted for all of 2 elections. In 2014, the Liberals had a minority government. After a deal with the NDP collapsed, the province was thrown into an early spring election. New Liberal leader, Kathleen Wynne, won a majority government and, following advice from the chief electoral officer, changed the law again. Elections moved to the spring. The idea was warmer weather and longer days would make it easier to vote. Okay, but why was that election even possible? And why is an early election possible now? In Canada, fixed-term election laws can't really do what they promise because of the role of the Crown in our democracy. Officially, it's not the Premier who calls an election. It's not the legislature either. It's the Lieutenant Governor, the King's representative for Ontario. Hello, Edith Dumont. Of course, the Lieutenant Governor doesn't take directions from the King. She takes the advice of her First Minister, the Premier of Ontario. This is a core constitutional part of our government. Whatever else Ontario's law says, the Premier can basically still call an election whenever they want. But the law isn't meaningless. It has created a norm, an expectation, that Ontarians should have 4 years to evaluate a government and vote on its record. It's more like an expiration date. So that's why you might find yourself heading back to the polls again, even if it feels a bit early. Thanks for watching this episode of Nerds on Politics. If you have questions about provincial politics, you can find me on X at @JM_McGrath. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe and click anywhere around me for more helpful explainers. We'll see you next time.